How's it going, Loner? How's it going, Owens? Finally got some time to jump on for a little bit. Yeah, it's a primate. Sam and I both are aware of him. Um, I don't know if we've been in a situation where we've chatted. I know he's close with Timothy Reacts, um, but I used to watch his stuff before we even had our channel. I know he lost his and then had to kind of start over. So huge bummer, but I think he's doing great now. But yeah, definitely know it's a primate. Oh, thank you, Owens. Yeah, he's cool. I'm glad he was able to kind of rise up pretty quickly after losing. I want to say he was either at or past 100,000 subscribers, which is a huge achievement before he lost. And like, I remember the circumstances when he talked about how he lost his channel. It sucks. Like, I think it was like videos of like wrestling from like 5, 6 years ago. And just like, and that's a shitty thing about YouTube is that you could just wake up one morning and your channel could just be gone. How's it going, Marcus? Post, I mean, surgery. Yeah, I guess technically it was mouth surgery. It's not like I was unconscious. It was just like local anesthesia. Um, but I guess still technically surgery. All good.
Oh,
Oh, hey,
yeah.
Prozac. Thank you for the sub. 8 months. Jeez, that's crazy, Prozac. Thank you so much. But yeah, doing good. I actually got my stitches removed this morning, so mouth is feeling good. Getting the stitches out was a little not painful, but you could kind of feel it. Um, but I would say the last like day or two, I haven't really had any pain, so doing good on that. Free Willy, man, I don't know if I've actually seen Free Willy. Maybe I have when I was a kid, but my memory's so bad I wouldn't remember anything. Um, but yeah, I didn't even know there was 4 Free Willies. Nice, Prozac. Good luck coding. Don't make one tiny little error that you have to go back and figure out the mistake. Yeah, no, everything's totally done and over with. Stitches are out, no more pain, all good to go. I wanted to, so yeah, so I came on last Friday. That was the day that we had them that I, had a little bit of surgery. And then I came on just to chat for like 30 minutes or something like that, just to explain the situation. And then I wanted to come on Saturday. I was anticipating there to be a drop off on pain on the next day. So I was like, cool, I can jump on. But we had to record a bunch and also the pain level went up. So it was just like, shoot, I don't think I can physically talk anymore without being in a good amount of pain. So I just couldn't jump on last Saturday. But then we had a really productive week. The pain went away. We were decently ahead. Like I already have Die Hard 3, which comes out tomorrow. It's already done and edited, and it's actually uploading right now to YouTube. So it's got like an hour and a half left to upload, um, which is crazy. Like I can wake up tomorrow and not have to edit the same day, which that hasn't happened in a very long time. And not only that, but we also watched Cobra Kai episode 5 and 6, and that's halfway done in terms of being edited, which is next Tuesday. So we are doing great, which means tomorrow and Sunday, if I don't need to edit or I don't want to edit, I don't really need to. And we could just spend the entire 2 days just recording like crazy. We could get like a solid week or two ahead of schedule between the next 2 days, which is great. Really great because we haven't been that far ahead and I don't know how long. I'm sure it is, Owens. No Sam tonight, Lou. She is asleep. Long day. She still works on Fridays. I work a schedule where I work 10 hours, um, 4 days a week. So technically, Fridays are my day off, but my Fridays are filled with editing essentially all day. Um, but my day is not as draining because I'm not at work. Like I'm not getting dressed and commuting and going to the office and then coming home. So my days are a little bit easier on Fridays, even though I'm working all day. But Sam is really working all day at her normal job. So her energy levels are higher, which means she's tired and needs to get some rest. Whereas I can jump on and hang out for a little bit because I still have a little bit of energy left. Yes, Depeche. So I guess technically I already answered your question. We did watch Die Hard 3. Such a good movie. Sam and I are talking about it. It might be our favorite Die Hard movie. No, sorry, Prozac. Nice guess, but no, it does not. It's doing good, Lou. No pain, nothing. Totally over. Got the stitches out today, so that is behind us. Probably Depeche. That was rough. 7 was intense. Sounds good, Owen. Um, maybe you can probably send a free Willy pic. I mean, you can send whatever you want, but as long as it's not code for a dick pic or something with a free Willy pic. But no, I mean, you can send us messages on, and I mean, we try to respond to as much as we can in terms of Twitch messages, Instagram messages, comments on Instagram, comments on YouTube, Patreon comments, Patreon messages. I mean, there's got to be 6 or 7 different ways. Discord. There's got to be 6 or 7 different ways you can reach out to Sam and I, and we do our best to kind of get to them all. I can understand that for sure, Marcus. We thankfully I mean, we put a lot of time and energy into thinking about our schedule, and we try to plan our schedule about a month or two in advance. So like we purposely were like, okay, we heard that 7 was going to be a rough movie, so let's put Field of Dreams after that because we don't want to watch like 7 and then some like graphic war movie right after, or else that's just going to be so depressing and draining. So we try to mix that things up. So it's like we're not watching like 6 sci-fi movies in a row. You know, we really do watch like a war film and something sci-fi, then something comedy, maybe something older, something newer. We really try to have that variety not only for the channel but for our own personal sake. Yeah, what a moment. I mean, so now I mean that's crazy that I get to learn the context of that because I've heard that before, what's in the box. Um, but I feel like that's happened quite a bit now. You know, there's so much that you're just aware of because of popular culture or whatever, but the context might be missing. So That's definitely not the first thing that we were like, oh, that's where that comes from. But that's definitely a major. That's where that comes from. Dang, Lou, you gotta figure out this haunted shit sooner than later. Probably alone. It depends. We focus on different things like Patreon. I will respond to every single message on Patreon. Sam will respond to the in the comment section on Patreon. Sam will respond to every so like we'll be sitting side by side. She's going through comments, I'm going through messages. I pretty much do everything on Twitter in terms of both just normal tweets and Twitter DMs. And then like I'll do all of the Instagram messages, and then Sam will do like all of the Instagram comments and stuff. So we'll be side by side, just going through trying to interact and comment with as many people as we can. But we definitely have to tag team stuff because if only Sam did it or if only I did it, that's just way too time consuming. Because if we need to pick, okay, should we spend 3 hours responding to messages and comments or 3 hours recording and editing stuff so that people have more stuff to enjoy and watch? So you have to have that balance. But we do our best to kind of tag team everything and do our best to kind of get to everyone because it's honestly the highlight. I mean, the whole point of the channel is to interact with people and talk about movies and stuff. Sounds good, Owen. How's it going, DNA Zen? A busy day, but not a busy night and not a busy weekend ahead of us, which is great. I don't know what that is. Don't know what you're getting at, man. Yeah, Field of Dreams is definitely a good choice for recovery. If GN stands for good night, then good night, Owen. Seven. I mean, it was a fantastic movie, super depressing, but you have to really appreciate how amazing that movie is. Oh, take on the Will Smith thing. That was definitely a crazy moment for sure. As funny as the thing was. Yeah, probably. I mean, we used to watch so much Family Guy, and I feel like Family Guy is just so random and references so much stuff that it's like I've heard of a lot of things through Family Guy or other comedy stuff like that. So you need to get some sort of like 24/7 recording system because with all this stuff happening for you, you must have the most dramatic, insane life out of anyone I've ever known. Gotta record all this stuff, make your own channel, and throw it up there or something. But it's interesting now that I finally have time. It's like I used to have no problem knowing exactly what I want to come and play video games, like what do I want to do. But now it's because I have such a big break every single time. It's like I had so much fun playing Dying Light 2, but I haven't played it in like a month and a half. I don't remember any of the buttons. I don't remember where I left off. I don't remember anything. I feel like jumping back into it. It's going to take me like an hour just to remember how to play the freaking game and what I was doing. Same with like Cyberpunk. It's been like I was having a ton of fun with Cyberpunk. Everyone had issues with it like on a technical level. I never had any bugs or anything. I was having a ton of fun and then I just stopped playing it one day and I haven't touched it in like 6 months. I don't remember how to play that game. I don't know like where I am. Same thing with Elden Ring. Like Elden Ring was so fun. I suck so much at that game, and I know so little about how to play it. But now it's been weeks since I played it. Mass Effect. I got like the legendary edition for all three. Like I wanted to finish all three, especially because I've never played the third one. But it's been multiple months. I don't even fucking remember where I left off. So it's so weird. I have so many amazing games that I can play, but I don't feel like playing any of them because I don't know where I left off or how to play. I don't know if that's same thing like Doom. Like I played some of the last Doom or whatever Doom, and it was so fun. And now then the new one, and I have the new one, and I played a couple of hours of it. Such a badass game, but I don't think I've played it for like 8 months. It's those multiplayer games where you could just kind of jump in whenever you want and not forget how to play it. So it's like Call of Duty. Like I don't even have Call of Duty on my computer anymore, or like Warzone or whatever. Not even on here. But those are the only games where it's like I know exactly how to play. Or like we might watch Arcane soon. Um because I've played League of Legends every day for like 3 to 4 hours a day for maybe a year or two. But that was like 7 years ago, maybe even more than that. So I used to know everything about League of Legends. Now I can't remember a single thing. And I know it would take me months to remember or to relearn how to play the game to an effective level. Yet I really would like to try it, especially if we start watching Arcane, then I'll be familiar with all of the characters again. Champions. Dang, Lou. Yeah, the thing about Bruce Willis, we addressed it a little bit in our intro to Die Hard 3. Um, Definitely super sad, tragic medical condition. You understand why he would step away from acting. So it's a bummer for sure, but hopefully him and his family can kind of deal with the situation to the best that they possibly can. But I guess the only thing we can really do is continue to enjoy and appreciate all of the great movies that kind of Bruce Willis gave us. And that's kind of what we talk about in the beginning of Die Hard 3. Um, so, yeah, definitely sad news. Resident Evil 4, that's not like I have Resident Evil 2 here, but I played Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8 with Sam here, and we had so much fun playing through it. I don't want to start Resident Evil 2 without her. That is one of the games where like, oh, I like to kind of play that a little bit. How's it going, Gustan? Oh wow, Lou. A lot of family history. Yeah. No, that's happened a lot. There's been so many. I mean, I used to make like online friends. Like you play a video game or a multiplayer game or something like that, and you meet people and you if you play very well with them, then you keep that going. You're like, oh hey, let's party up, and you play all day. Add them as a friend. You go on the next weekend. You're like, oh hey, they're on. Let's I'm gonna see if we can get into a party or something like that. And then you do that, and then you kind of start building these relationships with people you've never met, and it's a ton of fun. But then one day you just stop playing that game, or they start playing a different game, and you just never talk to this person again. There's a handful of people for sure that I probably remember playing with that I just one day you don't even realize it, but that's your last day that you jump into a lobby and play with them. It's crazy. That's another thing, Depeche. It's an addiction for sure. There's a few addiction type games: League of Legends, World of Warcraft, probably some more. But those are the two that I was probably most heavily addicted to. The very first Gears of War. Oh yeah, for sure, Depeche. That's true, Prozac. Just time, the limitation of time. I mean, that's the biggest thing, the barrier. It's not like I don't want to play video games all of the time. It's just I don't have time to play video games. And then when I do have an hour here, it makes what I want to play so much different. Because before it's like if you sat down, you're like, oh, I could play video games all day long. You could just jump into whatever video game you wanted, and if you wanted to move on to something else, you move on to something else. Now, because I only have like an hour to play, it's like I'm so stressed about making sure I make the right choice of what game to play to maximize that hour that I spend the entire time trying to think of what to play instead of actually just playing something, literally anything. So it's weird. Definitely a super weird feeling. Hudson Hawk. I mean, there's definitely a handful. We are kind of going through Bruce Willis movies. I went through with Sam to kind of see what else she hasn't seen. Obviously, we still have more Die Hard movies, but I don't think Sam has seen Armageddon. There was a few more. There was definitely like three or four big. Oh, we haven't seen Unbreakable because we were like, oh, like we loved the chemistry between Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis. So I immediately after we finished, I was like, have they made anything else? And then I was like, oh yeah, Unbreakable, which we haven't seen. We have seen Sixth Sense, unfortunately, or else that would have been a great movie to react to. Yeah, I feel like the same, Lou. If you feel like it goes away, but there's no way. There's got to be so many people playing and hanging out with each other. But it's just like, what games? I wish there was like bigger multiplayer games that like people in chat played. Who would want to fight Commando and Rambo? I'm probably gonna give the edge to Rambo. Rambo. I mean, they're both absurd, but I feel like Commando is just so video game like. It's almost like not even real. Like Rambo had a lot of stealth and booby traps and stuff like that, and like tactics, whereas Commando is just like Arnold with a giant machine gun standing still, killing like 100 dudes who just no one can hit him. So I think I would give the edge to Rambo. He would put out some trap or something like that somewhere. Unbreakable, Split, Glass, and we've seen Split, and we loved Split, but we didn't see Unbreakable, and we haven't seen Glass. We didn't see Glass because it did get really bad reviews. Um, so for the YouTube channel, we don't really let like bad reviews or anything like that stop us from watching something. But before that, in our personal life, if you're gonna spend like money to go to the movie theater and spend your time, it's not cheap at all to go to the movie theater or anything. Reviews do have a little bit more sway. So we were like kind of excited for Glass, and then just kind of heard that the general take was that people were just kind of like, whatever. They were like, oh, okay, I guess we'll just use our time doing something else. But if we did Unbreakable, we would probably do Glass on the channel as well. Yeah, Commando is super cheese, but it's awesome. It's awesome cheese. Oh, nice, Lou. Yeah, and that's the thing, DNA Zen. Like, I'm like a completionist kind of, so I don't want to start something without finishing it, especially like online. I would say the thing that we just didn't finish so far on the channel is like Marvel stuff. Like we watched WandaVision. We loved WandaVision. It was so great. And we had every intention of moving straight into Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And we heard from friends and stuff who really liked it. And we just didn't for some reason. And then by the time we were like, okay, should we go back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier? It was like Loki was already out or something. And then we're like, okay, crap. Like everyone's already moved on to Loki. So should we just do Loki instead of Falcon? And then it was like, and Hawkeye came out, and we're like, oh my god. So at this point, we're just so far behind. It was the same with like Mandalorian. We were like, okay, we want to do the Mandalorian because it looks really cool, and we've heard great things about it. And then by the time we were ready to do Mandalorian, it was like, wait, now there's more. There's already a second season, and then there's the Book of Boba Fett, and then there's this, and then it was just it gets to a point where you fall so far behind where it's like, man, do we even have the time to catch up? Like with Marvel stuff too, like we're behind on the movies in general. Like we haven't seen Black Widow, we didn't see Eternals, like we haven't seen the last couple of Marvel movies, and now we haven't seen the last like 3 or 4 Marvel TV shows. So it's like, damn, we are behind for sure. And those are universes that are so like deep and connected in their lore that if you like stumble a little bit, you like don't appreciate the next thing that you watch because you're just not getting the reference or something. And that's the biggest barrier of entry for Star Wars is that there's just so much lore and content that like I've seen some like clips and some reactions to stuff with like Star Wars stuff and people like losing their minds when a certain character shows up and I'm like I don't know who the fuck this is. And it's like, oh, it's this character from this season and this episode of Clone Wars. And it's like, well, I've never seen that. Like, oh, this character from the book. I've never read any of the books. So it's just, it's overwhelming. It's so cool how you can have these giant, vast universes, but then it's just, where do you jump in? And then if you accidentally like look away for a second and then you go back to it, you're like, oh, fuck, what happened? I like, where are we now? So Marvel and Star Wars are definitely the two biggest universes where we're just like Marvel we kind of started and we didn't finish it or continue with it. Star Wars we wanted to but then we just never dove into it. Yeah, Rambo versus Dutch. That's a much better duo than Rambo versus Commando. That's true. I did hear that Moon Knight is like standalone. Yeah, they're just pumping out so much. It's like these streaming wars between everyone that it's just like, how do we possibly keep up? It was so crazy. I mean, when you really think about like the Marvel universe, how many? I mean, it was about a decade of almost 2 to 3 movies every year building up to Avengers Endgame. Like, I don't think we've ever had anything like that in cinema before, where you've had almost about 30 major productions that led up to one crazy moment. Um, and obviously now we're kind of building that again, and maybe in another 10 years we'll have one crazy moment where you have all of these new characters. Um, but it just worked so flawlessly the first time that I feel like a lot of people took like a collective breath, and then before they could get fully invested back into it, they're already like 5, 6 TV shows and multiple movies behind. So it's like it's really weird that I loved it so much how connected everything was in the Marvel universe, and then once you kind of completed that, I almost felt like okay, I that was so much. I can't invest another 10 years of my life watching all of this stuff to have this build up for this final moment. So now you have like kind of DC stuff where it's like barely connected by a thread. Like I haven't seen the Suicide Squad, but I feel like I could watch the Suicide Squad at any moment and love it. The same with the Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut. I feel like I could watch it at any moment and love it. The Batman, we went and saw the Batman, loved it, badass movie. But I feel like having these barely connected things, I don't feel the stress. Like I don't like I'm stressed about watching Moon Knight. I know it's standalone, but there's got to be references still. I'm stressed. Like I, I don't feel like I can watch Loki without watching Falcon and the Soldier and Black Widow. Like the next Marvel movie that comes to theaters, what is it? Doctor Strange, maybe. Um, is there going to be shit from Eternals in that? Is there going to be stuff from Loki TV series from Hawkeye? Like I just feel like I can't watch that without doing a bunch of like homework before. Whereas like DC stuff, like who gives a shit because they've done such an absolutely piss poor job at building a universe that somehow they stumbled their way into just being like, fuck it, let's just do standalone stuff. If something's connected, cool, who gives a shit? No one cares. And so you're kind of like, okay, sure, like I can just watch whatever you're coming out with next. I can just watch it because it's not going to make sense to anything that came before it anyways because you're so bad at it. But now it's kind of like a positive thing. Yeah, exactly, Depeche. Like there's something about getting the whole experience in one shot as opposed to this giant connected universe. Yeah, so did see the Batman. I loved it for sure. There's just so much. There's so much Prozac. All of these companies are competing with each other, and they're just pouring content on everyone. It's impossible to keep up with everything. Yeah, that's exactly right, Mark. It starts to feel like work. It feels like a job. Like I feel like I gotta sit down and spend 8 hours watching Marvel stuff so I can go enjoy Doctor Strange. And when you have, it's the same thing with like video games. Like when you only have a very limited amount of time, you want to maximize that amount of time. So now where I'm at a point where I don't have all of the time in the world to just sit and binge 5 Marvel TV shows. Maybe if I like break my leg or something and I'm like have to be in bed rest, then I can catch up on all this Marvel stuff and then I'll be super hyped about everything that comes. Yeah, there's been a lot of universe building stuff that just didn't quite nail it. I don't think you're alone on that, Marcus. I mean, I'm definitely like that. Nice, Gusan. Did you enjoy Reacher? We're definitely enjoying it more and more. Like when it first came out, like we're pretty honest, like it was good, but it's not like we were like, oh my god, this is our best. Like Cobra Kai. If you watch our outro to the first episode of Cobra Kai versus the outro to the first episode of Reacher, you can definitely tell the difference between a show that we immediately love and a show that we thought was good. But now we're getting to the point in Reacher where I'm like, this show is really good, and I really enjoy it. So I only feel like, and a lot of people told, I saw a lot of comments that said that episodes like 1, 2, and 3 of Reacher were the strongest, and then it starts to kind of go downhill from there, but that it's still overall good. But I personally thought episode 4 was my favorite one so far. So I feel like if it keeps at the same pace or even goes higher, I'm gonna be in a situation where I can't wait for season 2. But I'm glad that that our channel exposed the shows to a bigger audience. For sure, Prozac. Like that's an example where we Sam and I didn't even see any of the Andrew Garfield stuff, but we were familiar enough with some of the important scenes and characters in the universe just through other content that um, that was an awesome movie. It was so rewarding to watch that movie if you knew everything that came before it. So that's what I'm saying. Like the Marvel universe, what they did from the very beginning, Iron Man or Hulk, or whatever came first, to um, Endgame, is so insanely impressive and was one of the most rewarding. I don't think I'll ever forget, some of those highlight moments sitting there in the theater for Infinity War and Endgame. And you just literally cannot create that feeling without putting a decade and 30 movies worth of work before that. But now that you completed it, there's a sense of like exhaustion to do it all over again. So maybe in a few years, if I have a bunch of free time, I'm sure we'll see pieces here and there. Um, but maybe in a couple of years, I'll fully catch up on everything and then be right back into the flow of those like universe type of things. But right now, as it is, I don't have time to enjoy a universe that's created. Reacher's really good, Marcus. It's you know, it's not just like a giant dude who just kills people. So if you look at like pictures of it, you just think like, oh, he's just some like copper out there who just is just this muscle bound like idiot. Um, but no, there's a ton of heart. Every character is great, and Reacher is for as many muscles and as badass as he is. The strongest thing about him is his mind, for sure. Absolutely, Marcus. I'm blown away by the level of acting. I don't know what he's done between Karate Kid and Cobra Kai. Maybe he had a very successful career or something, but I personally am not aware of anything between Karate Kid and Cobra Kai. But you see his acting ability in Cobra Kai, and you're like, how is this dude not an absolute star? Maybe he was. I don't know. I could just be totally ignorant and wrong. Um, but it's just like the dude is so funny and very good at dramatic, sad scenes. He's knocked it out of the park. So I hope that continues for him for sure because he's definitely the highlight of Cobra Kai. I mean, there's so many highlights of Cobra Kai. It's crazy, but he is one of the main ones. Exactly, Hanover. That is the perfect way to describe Reacher. Sherlock Holmes, who's the size of a mountain, who just obliterates people. I've seen the first Jack Reacher with Tom Cruise. I don't think I ever saw the second one. I don't remember much about the first one. I feel like I remember a scene in like a bar slash restaurant. I feel like he maybe calls a girl like a prostitute or something, or says like, "Oh, I don't want to pay for sex" or something like that, and that like pisses off her boyfriend or something. And so I think he gets into a fight with like a couple of dudes outside in the street. That's pretty much the only action sequence that I remember of the movie. But I know I saw the movie from start to finish, and I know when the movie was over, I was like, "That was fun." That's all I got. But yeah, really excited about the fact that we're a little bit ahead, and then we have an opportunity to get even more ahead. Because especially we're going to be moving again in about a week or so. So we have to be ahead because we're going to lose about a week worth of ability to do anything for the channel. So getting ahead in a few weeks will put us on schedule again, which is a bummer. But um, but we're getting there. We're getting there for sure. Especially because like right now everything is so compact um, that like our rooms are used for a ton of different reasons. So we're constantly like moving, setting things up, shifting things around. But we'll finally, I think, be able to have a place that's just dedicated to just YouTube filming and editing and streaming and stuff. So things can just kind of be permanently set up, which should hopefully like decrease our setup time and make things just a lot more easier and convenient to just kind of get in, get rolling. So hopefully having a little dedicated space will make things a little bit easier, which means it'll be a little bit easier every single time we try to get a little bit more ahead. Reactions all weekend, yeah. I can go through our schedule and then yeah, let's see. Yeah, so tomorrow we're gonna try to watch Dirty Dancing, Reacher, and Rocky Five. We can get those three things like recorded, and I could try to work on the editing for those three things to at least get the full length reactions done. That'll be an extremely successful day. And then Sunday, we're going to try to watch Cobra Kai and then Lawrence of Arabia, which, yes, we're excited, but was such a huge bummer when we found how long Lawrence of Arabia is. It's going to be over 4 hours. By the time we're done with the intro and the outro discussion, it'll probably be about maybe even a 4.5 hour recording, which is insane because when you really break it down, like we can watch Lawrence of Arabia or we can watch half a season of Reacher, which gives us a month worth of Reacher edits or one movie. So, as excited as we are, it kills our entire day. Our entire day is going to be dedicated to one movie. So that's what we're probably doing this Sunday. Especially if we take a break, we're probably gonna have to take a break in between, use the restroom or get some water or something. Just can't really sit there for 4.5 hours and just talk straight to a camera. So we're definitely excited. I mean, I assume it's regarded as one of the greatest movies of all time. I'm pretty sure, probably on a ton of like top 10 list or something like that. But when we found out the length of that movie, we were like, "Fuck!" It was the same thing with Das Boat. Das Boat's a little bit shorter than this movie, but that was a lot to sit there. I mean, it took nearly 4 hours to record, plus we had a little break in between, and then editing that movie. Oh, it took probably about 9 hours maybe to edit that, which is a full day in itself. So it was definitely 2 full days worth of work if you consider like a day's worth of work, like 8 hours in total to get one movie filmed and edited and uploaded, exported up on YouTube, everything, thumbnail done, full length reaction, everything. It was 2 full days of like 8 hour shifts for essentially both Sam and I. And Lawrence of Arabia is longer than that. But we love Das Boat. So I'm sure we're gonna love Lawrence of Arabia as well. We've done that for sure, DNA's in. We have a few Hitchcock movies. We have a few movies from like the 50s and 60s. Um, we get that quite a bit about people saying like we need to watch older movies, but I feel like we have a handful of movies um, from the 50s and 60s. Like, I mean, Rear Window, Psycho, um, Doctor Strangelove. We're still going to do more Hitchcock. I think we've done, oh yeah, well, no, Rear Window and Psycho are both Hitchcock. And then Doctor Strangelove is Stanley Kubrick, I believe. We might have. I don't know. In 2001 Space Odyssey, is that early 60s or late 50s? So we have a handful, and we're definitely planning on doing more. I think we have like 12 Angry Men. The 12 Angry Men, is that the name of it? On our list, and then we'll still do a bunch more Hitchcock stuff. Um, so yeah, definitely don't shy away. The thing that I feel like we had a few, but then we just haven't put on the channel is like foreign films. I would like to do more foreign stuff for sure. I'm sure it is. I mean, it can't be regarded as one of the best movies of all time without it being one of the best movies of all time. Oh, the length bothers me a lot, Depeche. I was so excited about Batman being 3 hours because we're paying money to go watch it in theaters. So it's like I want my money's worth. I want a long movie. You need to sit down and edit it scene by scene, frame by frame. When you have a movie that's like longer than an hour and a half, it's like, fuck me. There goes so much time to edit this. So I have two different ways of appreciating. If I'm going to the theater, I make it as long as possible. If I'm sitting at my computer and scrolling through frame by frame to edit it, make it as short as possible. I mean, there's plenty of times where I have to physically give my hand. It's just so first world problems, but it's like my hand will like just cramp up to the point where I can't use my mouse anymore because I've just been editing for like 8 hours straight. So I like have to like shake it out. I don't know if there's like a little brace or something I can kind of get or something, but especially when we're behind and I'm like trying to like get something up on the channel. I mean, I remember like Doctor Sleep. We were so far behind. I was up to like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning still editing Doctor Sleep because it was a long movie for sure, and I loved it so much that I was really like, I was like, how can I not, like include this scene and stuff? So it was really hard to kind of pick what moments and what not to kind of put into it because there were so many great moments. But that was a situation where it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm at that point I'm like 12 hours behind on uploading it pretty much, and my hand won't work anymore. I'm like, fuck me. First world problems. Oh, I'm sure it is, Marcus. We can't record it in a theater though. Although Popcorn in Bed, hopefully a bunch of people saw that. I think she recorded Homecoming or No Way Home or the latest Spider-Man. She did that in a movie theater. It was an awesome setup. Apocalypse Now was a great movie. Yeah, wanted to give it the boot. I will because we're ahead. We'll most likely get some help for sure for Lawrence of Arabia. But I still review every edit. When we get help, I still sit here and review. And it's time. I would say no matter what, it probably takes me somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour to finish a full length reaction, and I do every single full length reaction because it kind of sets it up in a spot in Premiere where someone can take that and start chopping up the movie. So I do that. So that includes the intro, outro, all of the kind of chroma key, all that stuff. Um, and then if I send that out to get some editing help, and then they'll return the edited file, and then I'll sit there and I'll go through it, and there might be scenes that are included that I'm like, this isn't necessary, or they might have skipped over scenes where I was like, you know what, that was a really important scene that I feel like adds to our reactions later on. I've never edited someone else's reaction. I have to assume it's so incredibly difficult um, because when I am editing our own reaction from start to finish, I'll remember like if I'm going through a reacher edit, I'll be like, oh, Sam and I talk about this scene halfway through the the reaction. So it's like I know I need to keep this scene because it sets up this reaction later on. But it might not be a very important scene, or it might not seem like it is, but I know it is because I know what we reacted to. So if someone else is editing that, they're gonna maybe chop that out and then get to that spot, and it's not gonna really kind of make sense or anything, and they just might chop that out or something. So when I get the edit back in I review, I'll be like, okay, well, I gotta add these two scenes back in, because I know it was important for me. I don't know. It's got to be so. So I give so much credit to anyone who's editing someone else's reaction, because you have absolutely no idea what they're going to say or discuss throughout the reaction. Unless you sat there and watched their entire full length reaction, it is impossible to predict what someone's going to say or do. So you might have seen a movie a dozen times and know what scenes are important to you, but what scenes the person who's reacting has done, there's just no way. So it's got to be so difficult and so time consuming. So I appreciate editing help so much because it saves me so much time. But then it is still something where it requires a lot of time to review after the fact. So getting a 4 hour movie edited down, it's going to save me so much time, but it's still going to take me hours and hours to review that edit and make any changes. Hey, how's it going, Moon? If you're still here, hope all is well. Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's an even longer version. I thought we were watching one of the longer ones. I mean, we watched like the almost 3.5 hour version, but there's even more to it. Right, Moon? I can't imagine the. I would be so stressed with music reactions, just because there's so much copyright involved in that. So kudos to anyone who does music reactions, because that's got to be stressful every single time you upload. But then the benefit is you spend 3 minutes listening to a song and 10 minutes discussing it, and then you're done. I would agree, DNA Zen. I love the Batman. I'm so excited, um, for that to come out on like HBO Max, I assume, for me to watch it again. Yeah, thanks, Mark. I might have to look into that. Doctor Sleep. I know I didn't even put that together. I did not put that. I'm editing Doctor Sleep as I'm like hand cramping, 5 o'clock in the morning, like just half asleep. Because I think we were so far behind that we watched it that day. So, and it's like a 3 hour movie, I think, because we watched the director's cut. Um, One of my favorite movies. Doctor Sleep is so freaking good. Um, that watching it, then doing the outro discussion, prepping all of the video files, getting the full length reaction export and uploading, and especially like when you're behind. And I have one computer, so when you're exporting or uploading content, everything else runs very slow. So it's like I'm in a race to get everything exported and uploaded, so I have to do it at the same time that I'm still editing. But because I'm exporting and uploading, everything that I'm editing is so slow, which means I have to like go over scenes like 3 or 4 times because they're like everything's all choppy and moving at like a 5 frame rate or something like that. Um, it's just a nightmare. When you're behind on stuff, it's such a fucking nightmare. But when you're ahead, it's so stress free. How's it going, Robin? Hopefully I said that right. I'm sure I did not. Oh, nice, Gustan. Hey, Banny. How's it going? Oh, I wish Sam and I love Black Mirror. So I think we've seen every Black Mirror episode. But I assume they're going to come out with more. I feel like the creator said he's not doing Black Mirror during the pandemic because he was like, shit's already fucked up enough. I don't need to put up some psycho episodes that's just going to depress everyone. Um, but no, we love Black Mirror. So if there's more Black Mirror content coming out, it will 100% be on the channel. Nice, Moon. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Oh, you enjoyed Batman Moon? Yeah. There he wants to do like an Arkham thing, and the Joker. Oh, fuck. Sorry, everyone. I shouldn't have said that. Spoiler alert. Fuck. I mean, it's been out long enough, but I shouldn't have said that. When I got home, no, that's not. That's not true, Moon. It never happened. Um, when I'm not a car guy. I like muscle cars. And I've always wanted, like, I believe it's a GTO. I don't know what year it is. It's got the two lights vertical. It's got to be 60 something probably. Pontiac GTO, Triple X. I think it's in that movie. Um, but I know nothing about cars. I don't know if a goddamn thing. I'm a mechanical engineer. Fuck me. If my car breaks down, I don't fucking know. Um, you want to talk to me about movies and video games? I gotcha. Talk to me about cars. I'm an idiot. Um, but the Batmobile in the Batman, it was on another. It was orgasmic. It was on another level. I immediately got home and I was like, for the love of God, I hope someone, as illegal as it is, I hope someone filmed that 45-second clip of the Batmobile revving its engine because it is the coolest thing. I cannot wait. Um, or right before the Super Bowl and stuff with like deals and stuff, I went to Best Buy and got like a nice sound bar with like a subwoofer and stuff, um and like a newer TV, and I won't have it installed for a while, for at least a couple more weeks probably. But it's been a while since I got it, and I'm just that's gonna be maybe the first thing. Hopefully, it's on HBO Max sooner than later, because I'm gonna blast the fuck out of my soundbar and subwoofer for that scene, that 45-second scene in the Batman. I have not seen that, Robin. I will add that to our list. It might already be on there, but I don't recall that. I'll add it to our letterbox. Thank you for the suggestion. Oh, do you enjoy Reacher 2, Moon? We're loving Reacher. I'm super excited. I loved Blue Mountain State, mostly, pretty much only because of Thad Castle. The Tumblr was really cool. Does sound like a dog. Sounds good. Prozac. Thank you. Have a great weekend too. Good luck grocery shopping. Get some good healthy food and then some sweets. Yeah, I don't know Lars von Trier. I assume we haven't seen any. Danish. What the fuck? Some interesting things pop up when Nymphomaniac. I feel like I heard about that because doesn't Shia LaBeouf just like bang? Like it's like they didn't they don't have simulated sex scenes in that movie. They just really just banged each other. Yeah, these look like some interesting movies for sure. You know what movie? If anyone knows him, Video Game Donkey on YouTube, he did like a film breakdown. He always, I've been watching it for a long time. He's so fucking funny and clever. Um, but he had a video breakdown of a movie that I was like, holy shit, I think I would love this movie. Let me see. He only makes like one video a month now, so it's not, doesn't take too long to find out. I guess one video a week almost. It's some French film, but I've never heard about it. Playtime. He did a video about a movie called Playtime, and it looks fucking hilarious. I don't know Donkey's stance on reactions. I don't think he approves of reaction channels or reactors, so I wouldn't want to play his video here and upset him. Um, but his, if you haven't seen it, go to YouTube and watch Video Game Donkey on Playtime or on a movie called Playtime. I don't know, maybe I don't remember a lot other than like the level of humor is so I think Sam would fucking hate that movie maybe. Yeah, you're for sure, Marcus. That's who it is. Like he was describing scenes of like a restaurant or something how like it's a movie where whatever's happening everywhere else in the background is just like chaotic or chaos or makes no sense or whatever. Like there's like this scene where, man, I really want to share the video, but I can't. Um, you're just gonna have to watch it on your own. Um, it's like a 45-second scene of like a guy walking down a super long hallway. It's just pointless. And then I think he finally like gets to the person, and then like the interaction is like pointless. So it's just one of those movies where it's like, what the fuck was that? Like, what am I watching? Oh, probably. He's so many good. Because I like I said, I used to play a ton of League of Legends, and Video Game Donkey used to pretty much only make League of Legends content until I think they like copyright claimed him or some bullshit, or they did something to him where he was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like the amount of publicity, like free advertisement that he gave League of Legends is ridiculous. So I think he just was like, fuck this game, fuck this community, fuck everything about League of Legends. And that was it. He never made any more. But every single video he made after that's still an absolute banger. But anyways, I feel like I know a little bit about that movie. I mean, clearly not, because I could only explain one scene about a stupid hallway. Um, so I feel like I would really, really enjoy watching that. Because I love that like absurd, stupid comedy. Like oh my god, What We Do in the Shadows. Different, way different for sure, but that's a different style of comedy than probably a lot of people are exposed to. Fat Castle is Stifler on steroids. That's true. That's true, Benny. I'm gonna have to write that down, Marcus. Yeah, Moon. No, but I feel like I would probably love that. TNA's in. Our flag means death. I feel like I would love that because Taika Waititi, that one dude who is from Flight of the Concords, he's like their manager or whatever. Flight of the Concords. I love that show. I feel like I need to rewatch that show. Um, that's fuck. There's some scenes from Flight of the Concords that are just so hilarious. Um, so yeah, I feel like Our Flag Means Death would be no, not Jermaine Clement. Well, I don't know. Maybe if he is in Our Flag Means Death, it's the older guy. I think he's a beard, and he was their manager or something. Absolute shit manager. Man, the breakdown. There's like where they have one cup and they and they have to share. They have like a schedule of who gets the cup when because they can only afford one cup, and then he buys another cup, and they can't pay their electricity bill. Oh my god, I never saw Legion. Yeah, but Jermaine Clement, he's fantastic. I mean, everyone in Flight of the Concords was so good. And I know Our Flag Means Death is probably very similar comedy wise, but it's pirates, right? So I think I would love that movie. How many episodes is it, and are they long? 10 episodes. Fuck. We have like this awkward time period where we can only watch like 4 episodes, or we only have like 4 weeks in between the end of Reacher and the start of I want to say The Boys, and we're still going to be doing Cobra Kai. That's one TV show. So then it's we need something for essentially 4 weeks. And if episodes are only like 25, 30 minutes long, then we could technically do like an 8 episode miniseries or season of something to squeeze in between Reacher and The Boys. And we're kind of going like, we might try to squeeze in Arcane in there, but that's a lot because those episodes are definitely longer. And I want to say there's like 9. Um, so I don't know. We're still kind of up in the air with how we're gonna handle that for sure. Hey, what's up, Tom? Maybe, maybe we could do it. They're only 30-minute episodes. Nope, don't play. Oh, they are pretty sure. Actually, some of these episodes are under 30 minutes, and I would have to assume that. Yeah, there's a couple minutes of credits and then like scenes for the next episode, which we wouldn't need to see. So yeah, about 2 3 minutes on each video you could subtract, and some of them are sub 30 minutes. So this might be a candidate. We could maybe squeeze in 10 episodes of this in a 4 week span. Interesting. This could be our answer. We want to do Arcane, but the episode times are just a little too long to squeeze into only 4 weeks. And we couldn't find a really good miniseries either that was only like 4 episodes, like where like nothing like Chernobyl. We were kind of maybe thinking of Police Squad, the very like because I think there's only 6 episodes and they're all on YouTube entirely. So we were thinking about maybe doing that. Um, because we could squeeze six episodes of Police Squad into 4 weeks, no problem. I'm doing good, Tom. You have not missed much. We're just chatting. Nothing crazy. Just hanging out, talking about movies and TV. How's everything with you, Tom? Police Squad looks. Man, I don't know why we have not gone back to Naked Gun 2, Naked Gun 3, Police Squad. It's gonna happen because I love that type of humor so much. And for Naked Gun, I mean, I think I watched like the first 30 seconds of Police Squad, the TV show, because I was trying to find out. I couldn't find where to stream it. I couldn't fucking find it, and we can't do stuff on DVDs and stuff because I don't have any. I don't have a DVD player. Um, and then I found every single episode is already just on YouTube. So I was like, damn, if these episodes are just on YouTube and they've been here for like years and years and years, if not longer, there must be no copyright claims or anything. I mean, we still would edit it into a condensed version, just for fair use laws. But I'm like, if they're already fucking here, I can't imagine dealing with copyright claims for it. And so yeah, I like watched like the first 30 seconds and even just the opening credits. I was dying laughing. Like it was literally just like an office scene, and it's like someone like answering the phone, and like there's just shit blowing up behind him, and then a dude just runs past on fire, and I'm like, what is this? What are we watching here? And that's the type of humor I love. And that was like 30 seconds into the first episode. If this is Spinal Tap, yeah, Bandy, that's definitely on our list. We gotta watch that. Ooh, family drama in there, Tom. It's never fun, never pleasant. Oh, really, Guston? Okay, that's good to hear. I would like to know that the quality stays the same, if not improves, for Naked Gun. I mean, even if a movie is 70% as funny as the first Naked Gun, it's still an absolutely hilarious movie. But yeah, I'm gonna run that by Sam. Um, how we think? I think we have three possible contenders. Arcane for sure. I want to do, but it would definitely be much more of a challenge to squeeze in that much content into a short time period. And Police Squad would be fun for sure, but we also don't have like Naked Gun 2 or Naked Gun 3 on our schedule just quite yet. So I feel like that would be a good lead in to that, to kind of get back into the Naked Gun genre. Um, so that might be more appropriate at a different time. And this pirate show um, might be the exact type of comedy that I really, really love. And the short episodes could possibly, because if we could possibly do, obviously 2 episodes per reaction, exactly like we're doing with Cobra Kai. And maybe just the very last week we have, uh, you know, multiple uploads in the same week. Because we only need 5 weeks. So if we double up on just one week, we could possibly get that done. Spy Hard. Is that what I think it? Oh no, that's. Oh, what the fuck is this? With Leslie Nielsen? I've not heard of this. What am I thinking of? Get Smart. I was thinking of Get Smart. Spy Hard. Ooh. 7% on Rotten Tomatoes? That's crazy. I trust Google users way more. Um, everyone has a movie that's just absolutely just destroyed on like Rotten Tomatoes, which they still love, like a little guilty pleasure. Like I remember having so much fun watching Corky Romano. 7%. Corky Romano with Chris Kattan, Peter Berg, Chris Penn, Fred Ward. Holy shit, I didn't even remember Fred Ward is in this movie. Vanessa Shaw, she looks familiar. What the fuck are you in, Vanessa Shaw? Hocus Pocus? No fucking way. That's where you're from. Pretend to Yuma? Oh, we gotta watch that too. Uh, so I loved Corky Romano, but it's got to be one of the worst reviewed movies of all time. So there's Spy Hard, there's Get Smart, and there's what's the one? Oh, is it? I'm thinking of maybe Heat. No, um, no, not Heat. Fuck. I'm gonna have to go like down a rabbit hole. I have to go to Bridesmaids, and then Melissa McCarthy. Spy? Is it? Oh, I guess it is just Spy. I mean, The Heat is great with Sandra Bullock. That's a great movie. And Spy. Spy was fucking hilarious. Jason Statham has some of the funniest lines in that movie. So if you haven't seen Spy, give Spy a watch. She was on a just an absolute tear, and then I feel like not much. What happened? Same with the director, Paul Paul Feig. He was on a tear. Bridesmaids, Heat, Spy, all three. Like A Simple Favor. I actually saw A Simple Favor. Sam and I watched that, and we really liked it. So that was a kind of comeback from after Ghostbusters. He kind of got ripped apart for Ghostbusters. But I mean, Bridesmaids, people fucking love that movie. And then everyone loved Heat, everyone loved Spy. He was on a roll. Anyways, I don't know where the fuck I was going on that tangent. Yeah, we haven't seen Queen's Gambit. So, but I think those episodes are a little bit longer. So it's a kind of similar situation with Arcane. Because essentially, for like one episode of Arcane or one episode of Queen's Gambit, we can get 2 episodes of that pirate show or of Police Squad. Yes, we did, Tom. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit in the beginning of Die Hard 3. We talked about it a little bit on stream. Definitely a sad situation. Yeah, we're starting to do more. We're starting back with Paramount stuff. So fingers crossed things are okay moving forward and stuff. But the strike cleared off our channel. Um, we still have a ton of content from Paramount that we will maybe try to re-edit and get back up on the channel. Because it was clearly so obvious that it was someone just sitting at a computer somewhere, just going through every 30 minutes, another movie from Paramount would get a strike or a claim every 30 minutes. So it's like it must take this person 30 minutes to fill out the type like that paperwork or online database or whatever for the form online to submit a claim. So it must take that person 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes they finished another claim and boop, hit submit, and there we go. We got fucked. So that was just annoying because we had a year and a half of having the channel, never experienced an entire day where every 30 minutes we got another claim from the exact same distribution company. Um, but at least the one strike we did had cleared. We have the good thing is we have a backup channel where if shit really does hit the fan, everything will kind of get moved over there. Um, So we did what we could to kind of prepare for the worst, but hopefully the worst never comes. But we are starting to venture back into Paramount territory. Yeah, I'm sure he probably has a ton of some movies that didn't really quite knock it out of the park. Hey, how's it going, you boy? Thank you. Field of Dreams was a very great change of pace after Seven, and a very heartwarming movie. That final like 30 seconds where he's just like, Dad, want to play catch? Fucking destroys me. Oh, that would have been great, Arrow. Aro, sorry. That would have been a great team up for sure. With how much Sam and I loved Die Hard 3, I wish there was 10 more Die Hards with Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis. It is happening, DNA's End. I feel like it might be happening in like a week or two. True, I'll go through the schedule, but that is definitely on our list. That is the pirate show I'm talking about. Our flag means death. Rambo 3, hopefully. So I'm going to have to start working on those edits for the Paramount stuff that got deleted. I've never seen the TV show of What We Do in the Shadows, only in the movie, but I feel like I would really enjoy the TV show. We were super sad too, you boy. We had every plan, we had it scheduled and mapped out to watch every Scream movie leading up to the new Scream movie and recording and putting that on the channel. We had everything mapped out for Rambo, everything mapped out for Scream, and then Paramount just decided to give us a big fuck you. Oh, I'm not aware of that one. Turtle, how's it going, by the way? Turtle, and I have to put that on the list. I remember Die Hard 4. I remember really liking Die Hard 4. I don't remember a lot. There's a few action sequences that I do remember, and a few. There's definitely, I would say, I'd say maybe 5 or 6 action scenes that I remember from Die Hard 4 that I really remember. Um, so that would definitely just be a true wife's first time watching reaction. Hey, good night, Marcus. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it's so random, your boy. It is so random who gets hit and who doesn't. Like, I mean, how many people have reactions to Terminator and Terminator 2? And I don't think anyone has experienced a problem. But then our friend Timothy, for Timothy Reacts, he got a strike, not a claim, a strike, which is the bad one, for his Terminator 2. And he fought it. He got in contact. He didn't fight. You can get in contact. It's an absolute garbage system. And if you're like a 2% chance of actually getting in contact with whoever gives you a strike, he was able to get in contact. And then they said that they wouldn't remove it. So why? Like, why did he get abused on that and no one else did? So it's strange for sure. We can see, I mean, our godfathers are gone, our screams are gone. Like, I mean, so much of our it was like 10 or 12 movies that are just gone, but you see them constantly with other people, and it's the same thing. We have plenty of movies and stuff on our channel that other people have gotten wrecked over, and it's like, dang, we didn't have a problem. So it is just so random, and that's what I hate. It's just like the fair use laws are so vague. There are no clear cut rules. When I first started the reaction channel, I thought it was a rule that you can only have 10 minutes of shown content. I thought that was the rule because I had seen it before on other reaction channels. I had seen them with a timer and they get up to 10 minutes and that's it. And the first few edits that I was doing, I was, taking a very tedious amount of time to like make sure I was underneath that 10-minute rule. And that's just, it's not even a rule. That's not even a thing. You can have 2 seconds of a clip and that could be enough for someone to give you a strike. It could be a single frame and they could pause it on that frame and give you a strike for it. Or you can have 2 hours. You can damn well put up the entire fucking thing and all you do is flip it and throw a little watermark over it or something. And that might be good enough. And there you go. You just put up the entire fucking movie. So it makes no sense. There are no rules. There's nothing to follow by. Everyone's just doing their best to kind of follow whatever they interpret as fair use. Um, so it's really who knows what the fuck. I hope there's a lot more regularity and rules because even if it's stricter or even if it like sucks, even if it's like very restrictive or something, I would much rather know that I have the approval of whatever company that we are working for, not working for, but reacting with, um, and know that I will never have any issues with that video, as opposed to just at any moment we could just wake up and be like, oh sweet, our channel's gone, fuck us. So I think it will move in that direction. I think these streaming services will start to see the benefit of reaction channels and the free advertisement, the publicity. And I think they'll actually start to use reaction channels. I think a really good case is I think one of the channels we're familiar with, Angelina. Um, I think she got sponsored to react to that like Amazon TV show, which I believe is based off of Critical Role, if I'm saying everything correct. That's huge in my opinion. Once you start getting these companies actively seeking sponsorships for their content, it starts to normalize everything. And then the companies like Paramount, who are just assholes about everything, they're going to start to realize, well, fuck, we can't be the odd man out. We got to start, accepting this as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's totally random, Kustan. Yeah, no, I mean it sucks for everyone. I mean, I know everyone puts in a lot of time and effort to make sure that their content is fair use. Um, but because it's so vague, they can still get hit. Yeah, it's rough, your boy. Everyone has their own like little style and stuff and way of transforming the content to make sure that they're adding enough and also taking away enough where it is fair use. But everyone has their little way of trying to do that. Yeah, no, I think there's you know a very very strong case for the benefit of reaction channels and how much publicity they give, especially to older content. I mean, there has to be situations, maybe not us, but some of the bigger like reaction channels, like Natalie or Ashley or Popcorn Bed or Blind Wave or like the Real Rejects. Like they watch something, it just brings so much traffic to something. And if they watch something that like not that many people are talking about, they're going to talk about it and it's going to become a conversation piece. So it's very positive in my opinion. It's the exact same thing with video games. I mean, there are video games that are only super successful and popular because a big name Twitch streamer played it. A game like Among Us, massive. It wouldn't be massive without Twitch. That's just the reality of the situation. Fall Guys. There are so many video games that are successful because of Twitch streamers. And that might be a situation in the future. Maybe not now, but maybe in the future, there might be shows that are only successful because one of the big name reaction channels put it on their channel. So everyone who's exposed to it then goes and watches it. No, I don't think so, Tom. Maybe at a certain point, for sure. It starts. I think it starts with the Twitch streamers. You see a viral video or something like that of some moment or something with a video game and a big name streamer, and then it becomes super popular, and then everyone starts playing that. So then maybe everyone is then looking at that video game and then getting exposed to different streamers. So I think you're correct in what you're saying, but I think that's the secondary part in some situations. But yeah, for anyone who's still here, because I probably won't be on for too much longer, let me go through the schedule. So you can 100% count on Die Hard 3 being uploaded on time tomorrow. No, I don't know about that, Gustan. Sam and I love our community. It grows every day. We're super blessed for that to happen. Um, but I don't think there'll ever be a moment where Sam and I consider ourselves like one of the big channels or anything like that. Um, cool. So Die Hard 3 tomorrow. Loved it. I was cracking up going through the edit today. Knock on wood. Yeah, so we're still going to be doing Cobra Kai. We won't stop doing Cobra Kai until we catch up. Next week will be Rocky 5. We'll still be doing Reacher until we finish Reacher. So we have Rocky 5 and Dirty Dancing. Then we have Lawrence of Arabia. I'm sure it's going to be amazing, but we have Lawrence of Arabia and then True Romance. So yeah, True Romance is technically only like 2 weeks away. Or yeah, 2 weeks from technically today. Now that we're on Saturday, will be True Romance. Then we have Rocky 6 and Gangs of New York. Then we have A Fistful of Dollars. And then we have Miracle. Then we have Creed. And then Jackie Brown. At that moment, that's like the first week of May. That's when we will start doing something, some other TV show, because we'll finish Reacher by then. So we're still doing Cobra Kai. So yeah, after Jackie Brown, we have For a Few More Dollars. Then we have Road to Perdition. Then we have Creed. Did I say Creed before? If I miss, we do Creed, then Jackie Brown, then For a Few More Dollars, then Road to Perdition, then Creed 2. Then we don't have something on our schedule just quite yet. Then we have The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Then we're going to go into Kill Bill Volume 1, 12 Angry Men, Kill Bill Volume 2. At this point, we're still doing Cobra Kai. We're doing The Boys. Um, I think we decided to go with The Boys as opposed to Stranger Things because we've done the first and second season of The Boys on the YouTube channel, whereas Stranger Things going into season 4 without any content on our YouTube channel felt a little strange because it's just not there. So we've seen and Stranger Things is one of our favorite shows, but jumping in at season 4 is a little late. We did that with The Witcher. Like the first season we didn't put up on the channel and we jumped into season 2. So I think it surprised a good amount of people being like, "Oh, didn't even know." Like we had a lot of comments being like, "Where's season 1 of your reaction?" So we're like, "Okay, that wasn't really the best, but at least we have a starting point now, and it's only season 2." But for Stranger Things to jump in at season 4, that's a little bit more content that's missing. So we'll probably just enjoy that show on our own time. Oh, thanks, Tom. Extra bonus points on Twitch. Yeah, it's gonna. We were talking about that earlier, your boy. It's gonna take a fucking enormous amount of time to get through Lawrence of Arabia. Yeah, we're gonna have to make sure we're fully fed, and we'll most likely have to take a little intermission to relieve ourselves. Yeah, we're a catheter, exactly. This will be season 3 of The Boys. Yeah. So we'll be going through with season 3. And I don't know, we'll figure it out, but we might be a little delayed at the start of The Boys. Um, because it comes out while Sam and I might be in Scotland. So we can't really bring like a mobile recording studio. So we might be in a situation where we just physically can't film it. Like we could be weeks ahead at that point, but it doesn't matter being ahead if you're trying to react to a show live when it comes out. So I don't know. That might be an interesting situation. Yeah, he's playing Soldier Boy. I don't know anything about the comics and stuff. Um, I've never read them, and I've never seen Supernatural, but I know he is the one of the main guys from Supernatural, and I know he's playing Soldier Boy. No, I mean we do horror pretty much once a month, maybe. I mean we do a ton of horror around Halloween, obviously, but I would say probably on average we do some sort of horror content once a month. We've had a lot of horror content in the past with movies, and then also doing like we're not far removed from like Midnight Mass, which I would consider horror technically, and then with Bly Manor and um, Haunting of Hill House. I mean, our last horror was I want to say Hereditary. We'll probably have like another horror poll on our Patreon soon, if not one already. So we definitely try to do at least one sort of horror thing a month. Yeah, Supernatural seems like it's a. I mean, people love that show. It must because it's been around for 15 seasons, but I've never seen an episode of it. Going to Scotland, possibly. Yes, Oculus. Yeah, definitely doing more. We got to do more Mike Flanagan stuff. Yeah, I mean, we were on a good roll with slashers, but our last two slashers got claimed, and one of them was the culprit of the strike. So Scream and Friday the 13th both got taken away and actively gave us a strike. So, you know, when you that get a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth, because those were two franchises that we had every intention of continuing. We were going to do more Friday the 13th movies. We were going to do every single Scream movie. Those were on our plans, on our schedule. And then it was just like, hey, fuck you. And we're like, oh, okay, fine. Yeah, it's a shame. You know, because like we really wanted to do Top Gun, especially with Top Gun, the sequel coming out, Topper Gun or whatever. But I think there's some channels that have gotten claims or strikes, or that it's been removed. Like I don't think you've seen very many Top Gun reactions on YouTube for very long. Um, Paramount just goes after people, so it's unfortunate for sure because there's so much. Like we wanted to do Indiana Jones, I believe. I think that's Paramount still. Yeah, Topper Gun, Gun Harder, Perfect Depeche. Oh, I don't know. Maybe one day. Like I really wanted to do Halo. I still haven't seen Halo, and it's getting obliterated by reviews. I've seen a few scenes, like little clips. I'm like, ooh, that does not look great. But I still really wanted to do it. But then it was Paramount. Like I was so excited when I found out that it was coming, I was like, oh, I can't wait to put this on the channel. I love Halo. And then Paramount decided to just wreck us. I'm like, well, fine. Guess we're not doing Halo now. Love that song. Oh wow, interesting DNAs then. Obliterated, probably a bad thing. Back to the Future was a ton of fun. Love those movies. First one I think is still my favorite. But yeah, so that's our schedule coming up. Should be pretty good. Got a lot to watch this weekend. Got a lot to edit, but at least we're watching and we're editing in a situation where we're not stressing about getting it up like same day. So we're doing all right. Doing all right. And then got a lot of stuff taken care of in our normal lives outside of the YouTube. We have like our normal lives, we have our YouTube lives, and then we have our work lives. Work lives are always stressful. YouTube life is becoming less stressful, and normal life is coming a little bit less stressful. But it's about to be very stressful because in about a week or so, we will be having to pack up everything and move again. And that was a hurdle for sure. That was about, I want to say, a month and a half or 2 months ago that we went through like our first moving. And it's definitely time to break it. Like you get everything set up and it's like, okay, cool. Everything's working. And then you have to like take everything apart and put it all back together again. You're like, please, for the love of God, make everything work. Because you just never know. You plug in something and you don't plug it in correctly, or something breaks, or something just some weird technical issue sets you back an entire day of you trying to figure out something. So we have to make sure we have plenty of time to work out any bugs. Yeah, right, you boy. It's always a hurdle. Hey, ED jokes are always funny. That's a great one, Depeche. Which I saw like a little synopsis about Gerald's game or whatever, with Mike Flanagan as well too. So it's topical when it comes to a blue pill. So that entire time that we've been chatting and hanging out, an hour and 45 minutes, Die Hard's been uploading. That's a different thing too. Like our internet speeds are very slow here, um, especially the upload speeds. About like half the speed that it was at our previous place. But then our next place, we're gonna have fiber, which I've never had speeds that fast. I'm really looking forward to just hitting upload and watching it go whoop, done. Yes. Nice, Bandy. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Have a delicious breakfast. You have perfect timing because I'm about to call it here. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning for me. And I got to go to bed to make sure I got some energy to watch a bunch of stuff tomorrow. I've never seen Dirty Dancing. Sam has seen that, so that'll be a husband's first time watching. Reacher, loving it. Super excited. Last episode that we released today leaves on a pretty big, not really cliffhanger, but a very monumental moment. And then Rocky Five. Everyone kind of set our expectations very low which is kind of good because if it's anything better than terrible, we're gonna have a good time. Spider-Man, No Way Home. I hope so too, Tom. Cable or internet services, it's such a scam. You get like two choices if you're lucky. If you're lucky, you get two choices. I don't think I've ever been in a situation where you get three choices, and either choice sucks for one reason or another. So we'll see how it goes. That's a good way to put it, Tom. Not necessarily the worst, just the least favorite. But we'll see. I feel like there's so many shifts. Rocky 1 and Rocky 2 are very similar. Rocky 3 is definitely a unique film in terms of just the style of it, and also the biggest change in Rocky's fighting. And then Rocky 4 is just like on a completely different planet. Um, like I could understand why Rocky 4 is a lot of people's favorite, especially because it feels like it's not even connected to the first three Rockies in terms of style. So I'm excited to see where Rocky 5 lands. Is Rocky 5 just another completely different planet? Is it similar to 1 and 2? Is it similar to 3? Is it similar to 4? Um, so it's going to be interesting to kind of see where it lands. Because I'm excited to get to the Creed. Because I at least remember a few moments in Creed that I'm excited for Sam to kind of see the evolution of the Rocky series. And I personally think my favorite is the very first Rocky. I think the first Rocky is just a superior film in general. So if it's more similar to the first or second, then I think I might enjoy it. I think I think probably what happened is maybe a lot of people with the evolution of Rocky, they expected it to keep going in that direction. And if they try to pivot to go kind of back to the beginning, that might be more shocking than the current direction that Rocky was going in. So for us, because we're seeing all of these movies within literally weeks of each other, we're not seeing these movies over spans of years or decades. Maybe we'll have a slightly different outlook where maybe we appreciate Rocky 5 more because Rocky 1 and 2 are so familiar and right around the corner for us. So it'll be interesting because if it's more like Rocky 1 and 2, I feel like I'm going to enjoy Rocky 5 more than what I'm expected to based off of the vast the vast majority of comments downplay Rocky 5. So it's going to be really interesting. Yeah, I could see how that would be a real hindrance. I mean, essentially, the movie's just gotten crazier and crazier. So if it tries to not be crazy, you're kind of like, what the fuck? I'm anticipating like Rocky 5 should be a rematch against, like, if I had to guess based on the trends, it was Rocky 1, and then you would have Rocky 2 was a rematch. Then Rocky 3 is a shift using the same character um, that was your former enemy as now your ally. So Rocky 4, I'm surprised Clubber Lang didn't make an appearance. So I could have seen once Apollo goes down, I could see I could have maybe brought in Clubber Lang, um, but that was Rocky 3 is kind of like a pivot point and then Rocky 4 kind of establishes a new villain technically. Whereas if I would have anticipated what they would have done if they would have kind of came the same pattern, Rocky 5 would have been a rematch with um, Drago, and maybe it would have had a similar fighting style to the third one or not. Maybe it would probably still be a full, but I'm surprised. I would anticipate Rocky 5 to be like a rematch with Drago, but I don't think Drago's in Rocky 5 because everyone says it's so different. Plus, I think we saw a lot of comments that were like, "Oh, you'll see Drago again in Creed," so that means we're not going to see him in Rocky 5. Um, but if you follow that same pattern, I would maybe assume Apollo in 5, and then 6 would maybe somehow not Apollo. I'm sorry, Drago, and then 6 you would still have Drago, but it would be that same situation again where you would have him be more of a like ally, I guess. Um, but I don't think that's the trajectory at all. I think I think it goes just way different. Yeah, and I think that's another benefit is that because we're watching all of these things within so close of each other, it's going to help us with future films. So if you skip it, you're going to lose out. Even if it's not the best, it's like the least favorite, you're going to lose out on some sort of appreciation for the ones that come after it. And I think I would appreciate that. I think the style of the Rocky movies was getting a little too outlandish. Yeah, I have not seen Creed 2, so I don't know what happens in that. But I do really remember enjoying the first Creed. And if I had, like, if someone said, okay, out of the first four Rocky movies, what would you make, what would you compare the first Creed to? I would compare it to the first Rocky movie. How's it going, Epsilon? So, yeah, so I don't know anything about Creed 2, but I remember Creed, the first Creed, enough that I would compare it to the first Rocky. So if we go back into that direction for the first two Rockies, I think I would enjoy that for sure. Yeah, I'm not telling her. I am not telling her. I at least know what the connection is, but Sam is unaware and she will remain unaware. If we were able to get through Terminator and Terminator 2 without her having a clue about either, I think we can get to Creed without her knowing anything. Zombie Creed. Now that's a movie. Zombie Creed for sure would be a huge pay-per-view event. You would sell that so well. Okay. Well, I mean, so far, I mean, there's very few movies. I think there's only one or two movies that she has seen that I have not. Kindergarten Cop is the only one that comes to mind. I feel like there's another one, but I could be wrong. It could just be one. So that pretty much means that 99.9% of the stuff that we put on the channel surprise her. Night of the Creeds, great. Get to writing. Get to writing that for sure. Someone will, Netflix will pay you $1 million for that idea. Okay, everyone. Big surprise. Now there's not too many. Princess Bride, yeah. Is that even still on our channel? I feel like that's one of the ones that got claimed. It might be very restricted. I'm not quite sure. But oh, but now I see what you're saying. Yeah, it was a Princess Bride and um, Kindergarten Cop. I think are the two that she has seen that I have not. And we're about to have another one with Dirty Dancing because I remember Sam. I mean, Sam did like the intro and outro kind of to Seven because my mouth was just fucked up, and we had so many comments where it was like, "Oh, it was so awesome to see Sam do the intro and outro. She should do it again." I was like, "She has. She's already done it. This is not the first time." So it's like, I caught you. If you left a comment like that, then I know you didn't see our Princess Bride or a Kindergarten Cop reaction. Thank you, Tom. It is a novelty, but Sam likes it because mostly most a lot we get so many comments that people really liking Sam's like little hello. Well, she doesn't get that hello unless I lead her into that uh the intro part. No one wants to see my hello. People come for Sam's hello. And then with the outro, I always want her opinion first. So she gets the first say on what she thinks the movie's going to be about, and then she gets the first say on what she thought about the movie. I feel like that's more appropriate. I mean, we always try to do our best to like not talk over each other and feed off of what each other are saying. But I always like to give her first billing on everything in terms of the intro and outro discussion. Thank you, Tom. I have videos early on in the channel where it was just me, but it's definitely a lot more fun to react with someone, and it's obviously a much more engaging conversation when we're talking with each other as opposed to just me talking to a camera with no one there. Because even this right now, I'm talking with all of you. I'm engaging in conversation with all of you. You're just typing instead of talking. But when you're just talking to just a camera and your own thoughts, it definitely changes the conversation. Thanks, Depeche. I don't know if that's a compliment, but no, it's been great having this with Sam, spending so much time. I mean, this is all we do. After we get home from work, all we do is work on this channel. All we do all weekend is work on this channel. We don't do anything else. So having this time to all of this time that we spend together and having like something that we kind of are growing and creating and like cultivating with each other, it's been such an awesome experience. Yeah, it's always interesting to get like the reactions out. It's I mean, I feel like Sam and I definitely have bigger personalities than our what the reaction channel shows. Um, but you it doesn't 100% come off. It comes off a lot more in the outro discussion. But when you're watching a movie, you have to be dedicated to paying attention to the movie and what's going on. It's not necessarily a time to just like crack a bunch of jokes. If something pops in your head that's like relevant real quick, like a little quick comment, sure. But it's not like you're like pausing the movie to like come up with like an idea for something funny to keep it going. Um, so you don't get much more than just a reaction during the reaction, if that makes sense. But then in the outro discussion, which is why we love it so much, because it gives us this unlimited amount of time and opportunity to talk about everything we loved about the movie. When you can't really do that, if we talk to that amount of detail during the reaction, we're going to talk over really critical parts, which I don't understand. Sometimes we do get comments. I mean, we get plenty of negative comments, but we'll get a negative comment being like, "Oh, you talked over all of the important parts." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like, we didn't miss a single thing in this movie." I don't think there's might be a few times where we maybe missed something or didn't catch something, but I think overall, I mean, we have our headphones on, we're listening to everything constantly. I don't think there's really been many moments. There might be a handful out of every video we've ever done where we might have missed something because we were talking. I mean, if you watch the full length reaction, you'll see plenty of times where we'll start to say something, but then obviously we'll hear that what's going on is very critical and important, and we'll just shut the hell up so that they can keep talking without us talking over it. And then in the edited, maybe I'll clean that up a little bit so it's not so aggressive or something. But you can definitely see in the full length reactions, because those are entirely unedited, our thought process of us talking about something and then being like, "Oh, this is important. Shut the hell up." Hey, I see you. Look, yeah, it's very fulfilling. Your boy Sam is asleep. She needs her beauty rest. No way. I do not wear the pants in this relationship. She holds the key to that cellar. Yeah, the outros are. I mean, we're not. That's why I feel like we're not like YouTubers. We're not like a big channel. Like, we're just watching movies, hanging out, and talking about them. If we went to the movies together, you would not hear me say a damn thing during the movie. I will not talk. I'm focused, and I don't want to interrupt or ruin the experience for anyone. But after the movie, we would have the same exact discussion that we would have in our outros. So Sam actually has both headphones on. So I have it all half on my ear. So I can hear on the left side, I can hear her talk. So I keep it off my ear a little bit. Um, and Sam, we have like little, is it's just a splitter. So like you just can control the volume. She can control her headset volume, and I can control mine. And she kind of has it in her hand the entire time, and she'll cycle between like sounds because she doesn't. It's uncomfortable for her, especially with earrings, to have like the headphone off a little bit. So she'll have it on, but when I'm talking, she'll kind of turn down the movie volume a little bit to hear me, and then she'll kind of go back and forth. Whereas I just have mine offset a little bit so I can always hear her, which is sometimes if you watch the full length reaction, I assume maybe um, sometimes and during a very loud scene, even in the YouTube edits, you can sometimes pick up on it. I mean, I pick up on it because I spend countless hours every week going through the edits, but so I don't know. It might not be apparent at all to anyone just watching it, but you might be able to pick up on the audio coming through my headset being picked up by the mic because I have it off my ear, and sometimes during like a loud scene, it'll be so loud that the mic picks it up. Um, so that's a situation. The other horrible situation is that the chair that we sit on, it is super uncomfortable, and it makes farting noises. If you move slightly, it sounds like you're just ripping a fart. So sometimes we'll be laughing, and because we're laughing so hard, we're like kind of moving in our seats or something like that, or we get like a jump scare or something, and and it sounds like we're farting, and I fucking hate it. I probably spend like 10 minutes on every single YouTube video editing out fart sounds because of the chair that we sit on. And if I didn't do that, I would assume every single comment would be like, holy crap, these two just rip ass constantly throughout the movie. But the full length is unedited, so I don't know. Maybe everyone who watches our full lengths are like, man, these people have just the most terrible stomachs, but whatever. Yeah, we do our best to kind of pay attention. I mean, we saw plenty of stuff that goes over our head, um, but we do our best to try to. I mean, that's fun for us. I mean, we like to try to figure out where a movie's going. Yeah, little behind the scenes look of how I hear Sam. Yeah, I hear Sam scream loud and clear every single time. I mean, there's plenty of times where I am the initiation to the jump scare because I'll freak out at something. I should have a fart compilation video of every single time we move around in our chair and it just farts. Or plenty of times Cooper is in the room, our dog, and he'll just be like asleep, like barking in his sleep or something. Don't worry about it, Tom. It's not necessary unless you find content that you are excited to watch. Other than that, just watching the YouTube videos is more than we can ask for. Yeah, right before we film every video, we just eat a bunch of just spicy food. How's it going? The art of blossoming. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the support and coming and hanging out. I'm about 30 seconds away from ending the stream, but thank you so much for popping in, saying the kind words. Glad you're enjoying the videos. How's it going, Rip? I believe Memphis Belle is. We might have had it on a past poll. I mean, we do war films quite frequently. Frequently, I mean, our next war film would be Lawrence of Arabia, right? Did I say that right? Why do I feel like that's not right? Anyways, I feel like we do have Memphis Belle on our list. So we have not seen it, and it's been suggested before, and it's been on our radar. Um, so that's definitely a huge possibility that it will come to the channel at some point. Meow bombs. Only farts, right? There was that one. I saw that one news story with like a girl made like $300,000 selling her farts, but then she ended up in the hospital because she was just eating the worst diet so that she could keep farting as much as possible. So I mean, she was delivering a solid product. She was not scamming for sure. She literally ended up in the hospital creating her product. She made a couple $100,000. I don't know how she recovered or not, but yeah, farts, a great source of income. Oh, nice. The art of blossoming. Did I say the heart? Maybe the art of blossoming. UK time. We might be in Scotland in about a month and a half or two. I think it's classified as a war movie. It won our war movie poll, so it better be a war movie. Cobra Kai has been amazing. Loving it. One of our favorite shows for sure. Nice. Sam has a lot. Everyone in Sam's family is a uh, paints and draws. They're a very artsy family. Yeah, I mean we the genres that we pick are definitely like encompass quite a bit. So if there's some war elements, we'll go with war film. But it'll be interesting. I don't know if anyone's done a Lawrence of Arabia reaction. Why do I when that comes out of my mouth, I feel like it's wrong. It should be Lawrence of something. It's like one of those things where it's like you say something over and over and over again, and then you're like, wait a second, that word doesn't make sense anymore. Yeah, there are a handful of people who've done it. It's such a long movie, but I don't like multiple parts. Not very many, only a handful. So it'll be a single part. If I was able to get Das Boat in sub an hour, we can get a Lawrence of Arabia sub an hour. I'm not a fan of multiple parts personally. I was really against doing Cobra Kai with multiple videos, but it just made sense for us for the need to catch up quickly and the shorter time frame of the episodes was kind of like that double whammy. Um, there are definitely I feel like it's impossible to do like Lord of the Rings in a single parts. So there's definitely a lot, or like Avengers probably. There's definitely a lot of movies that I'm like, there's no fucking way you can get that into one single part without it being like an hour and a half long video. Okay, get through these last comments and I'll be signing off. I definitely need some sleep. Chernobyl was amazing, Rip. That was such a good show. It's insane when you think of that. It was only 5 episodes, yet what they cover and explore in 5 episodes and how detailed the stories are, how everything just flowed so perfectly. I mean, it's incredible. Lawrence of Kentucky. No, that doesn't sound correct either, Gustan. Yeah, I mean, movie genres are pretty interesting. I'm terrible at distinguishing things. Like for food, essentially, I have two reviews of food. It's good or it's not good. That's about it. Someone could be like, "Oh, what does this taste like?" I could be like, "It tastes good." That's as detailed as I can get you. Like people who can taste food and be like, "It has hints of." Oh, thanks for the cheer. The art of blossoming. So I'm terrible. I fully understand that there's way better ways to differentiate and detail, categorize, classify, however you want to say it. But for me, it's either good or not good. So same with like colors. Like there's like 6 colors or whatever, 7 colors, but people have like 55 different colors for like green. I'm like, no, that's just green. Um, so I'm just terrible. So it's like for me, there's like comedy, drama, war, sci-fi, horror. It's one of those. And then people will throw on like 6 different like words to like call something incredibly like specific and unique. I'm like, no, it's just a comedy. So like Star Wars, it's got lasers in space, sci-fi, done. That's what you're getting from it. You're getting sci-fi. It's like so there's some sort of scary sort of thing, or that's it. You're getting that's what you're getting. But I know I'm the minority in that, and I know I'm wrong because I know there's way better ways to detail things. Now you're still going maybe action, but even adventure, that's going too far. Like I would just consider adventure as action. Fantasy, yes, for me, sure, fantasy, but that's just sci-fi. I know I'm wrong. I'm not trying to say that I'm correct. I know I'm wrong, but that's just the way that my brain works. You get like five or six ways to differentiate something max. Anything beyond that, you're just you're just getting too complex for me. Probably not Gustan. And that's a really good point because I'm going to be like they're tall. Um, that's you know that's about it. I'm sure you do, your boy. I know I'm wrong. I'm not trying to defend myself, but I would maybe say no, no. I mean, they're like I mean, because you could go like drama, mystery, thriller, just drama. Just it's just you have your one main and then you have a bunch of branching. Adventure branches off of action because typically you would have action adventure. Are they completely different? Yeah, and I totally agree, and I'm wrong, but still, that's it. You have one thing. It's the same thing. Like you have green. Are there 7,000 different colors of green? Yes. But at the end of the day, it all can get funneled back to saying action. Same thing like food. Like people get so annoyed when like, oh, like what you think? I'm like, oh yeah, it's good. Like you should try it. Like, well, why is it good? Is it salty? Is it spicy? Is it savory? Does it have this flavor of garlic? Or and I'm like, I wouldn't. Don't. You're confusing me at this point. It's just good. Like LA Confidential, like for me, drama, but you can probably go into like crime, thriller, mystery, neo noir. No, that would be Seven or something like that. Um, Period piece or something. I don't know. You could probably go into a bunch of different ways of analyzing something. But for me, I'm just rambling at this point. I'm so fucking tired. Oh, okay. Well, I'm very not. I, I don't read many books at all. Um, Practically any whatsoever. I just don't have the time, and if I do have the time, I usually spend it doing something else. Um, Sam's dad reads probably a book or two a week, so he would probably have 10,000 things that he would love to see as live action. But for me, it was interesting. I One of my favorite video games was Gears of War, first one, and I actually read some of the Gears of War novels that I really enjoyed. And I always thought it would be such an awesome thing to bring to live action. And it's been in the works for a while. It's been on and off and dead and resurrected. And once it probably comes out, it's probably going to be fucking terrible. I'm anticipating it to be just garbage, but I still feel like it's a story that's I've dedicated so much of my time and energy in my life understanding and knowing and playing and enjoying that I would love to see it come to live action. So it would be something to be with Gears of War. What action doesn't have adventure in it? Like for me, it's all an adventure. That's how my brain just functions. I just have to boil everything down to just the bare basic options. So if you love classifying things, never go like shopping with me or selecting paint. I would be the worst advice or help or anything. Like what shade of this? Don't don't do that to me. I don't think I've seen Stand By Me. I haven't seen the Goonies. That's a style, not a category. No, it's too far. You're going too far. Oh, good night, the art. Fallout. Shoot, is that being a live action? Who's creating Fallout? You know what should be created by Mike Flanagan, most likely. Um, fuck. What's it called? Bioshock. Fallout and Bioshock would be fucking great. Yeah, you boy. I could see that. Like, I mean, I've been to like electronic festivals or raves or whatever. I just would just call it like electronic music. That would probably anger every single person because like, no, this is house and this is dubstep and this is fucking I don't know, trance, bass. I don't know. There's like a million different things where it's like I like rock. I consider rock to be like Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Black Keys, um, Muse. Like, oh no, that's not rock. That's alternative. Shut the hell up. Yeah, cherry red apple. What are you? You're gonna make me pass out with all of these. Musical, okay. That I agree, Tom. That's one. That's another one. Wow, the Riders of the West Row. Okay. Well, thank you for letting me know, Art. I'm very much looking forward to that. I've played Fallout 3 and 4, I believe. See you on YouTube. Die Hard 3 tomorrow. Yeah, BioShock is such an amazing universe. That would be an amazing TV show. I don't think you could do that just like justice with a movie. You give Mike Flanagan the controls to a BioShock TV show on Netflix or something, I'm sure he would create absolute magic. But anyways, oh, it's my wedding ring, and it's like not metal. I have a phobia of like a ring getting stuck on my finger, so I need something that I know I have peace of mind. I can just kind of like remove and cut. So it's literally like a 4 pack. I have a real wedding ring that I wore on like a I don't remember what metal it is. It's black also, but it's metal. Um, but I don't wear that. I just wear a pack of rubber ones. Yeah, so I have a real ring, but I don't like to wear it because I'm a scaredy cat of it getting stuck. and I don't really need to anymore, but at least I used to deal with some sort of machinery um, for engineering, and it's just highly, highly unlikely. But on the off chance that it can get caught or catch anything on a heavy sort of machinery, it's just gonna rip your whole fucking finger off. So this it's literally just rubber. It's just a 4 pack. It's probably like $10 for five on like Amazon. That way, if it gets lost or ruined or whatever, you're not stressing, you're not freaking out. Um, and it's kind of become something that I like enjoy playing with. I like popping in and out. So sometimes I'll play with it until it rips, and I'll be like, "Oh fuck! Oh shit!" Just like that, it just shot out of my hand. I'll get that later. I gotta remember to get that. But yeah, well, that was fun. That was 2.5 hours. I was gonna play video games, but instead we just chatted for 2.5 hours. That's totally cool by me because I suck at picking out what game to play, anyways. So thank you for no, I see it. It's just down. It's down in between a bunch of cables. Um, yeah, always wear a rubber ring. Great one. I mean, you're on. You guys are on fire tonight. Um, but yeah, Die Hard 3 tomorrow. Gave you out the calendar for what's kind of coming up. Looking forward to a bunch of exciting stuff still. It seems like we're never running out of options and movies to watch, which is great. But I'm glad I was able to kind of come on, chat for as long as we did. Um, and Sam and I are trending in the correct direction to get more and more ahead on stuff and clearing up more and more stuff in our personal life. So we have more time to come and hang out, hopefully, or more time to add more type of content, whatever the case may be. So looking forward to stuff coming up. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and I will see you all next Friday or in the comment section. So yeah, good night, your boy. Good night, Tom. Good night, Gustan. Who else? Most recent than Art's already gone. Depeche. Anyone else left? Good night or good morning, depending on where you are. And I will see you all another time. Bye, everyone. Peace. Bye. Hello.